And greetings everybody, and welcome back to Rebuilding the Commonwealth with me. And as you can see, the castle is nice and quiet this morning. Yes. So we've got people just getting out of bed, getting ready to go about their day at work. We've got the night shift still on, getting ready to wind up and get a beer. And we're at the castle. Now, there's some good news and some rather precarious news. The good news is I think I've resolved the corrupted save problem. I think I've got it all sorted. I used resave on my file. I think that has cleared up a lot of errors. What I also did was very carefully uninstall the GEC mod which I put on, which creates those massive build spaces in like Lexington and Quincy and all of those. I think what that was doing was it was creating build areas so large that it was just breaking the game. I think it was breaking too much, like straight up. So I've uninstalled GEC. I went into a file which I knew worked, which didn't have GEC, so I lost a couple of hours progress, but that is why I make backups. Luckily, all of the uniforms and all that are on this file, so I didn't lose any of that. But I went into that file without that kit on, saved the backup, and I got rid of all of the loose ends from it. So the map is a bit tidier. We no longer have these midtown settlements, though we still have this really random supply line which just goes to nowhere and seems to randomize every time I play. I don't know what causes that, and I've had it since around that Hangman's Alley episode. I don't know what it is. I'm not sure if it might be my Codsworth because he glitched out and quote unquote died but didn't die. So I don't know if it's something to do with that. But yeah, all these places like the Scrap Palace, the Federal Reserve place out here, the Boston Mayoral Shelter, all of that has had its settlement privileges revoked. So we're back to the vanilla settlements with the exception of my customized one and the Vault 111 exterior settlement. I think that's all we're going to need. That seems to have cleared up the majority of my problems, so I think it was just the build areas which were causing it. So fingers crossed, we should be good to carry on from here on out. I won't be adding any more mods for the very foreseeable future, unless it's just a gun or two. But we are at the castle once more to continue with the rejuvenation effort. Now, I've managed to obtain quite a few more materials back despite the loss of progress, and I've set up this little mock-up structure.
I'm always glad to see the sun come up one more time.
Thank you for that, Garvey. Very inspirational words. That's going to need some quick tidying up. That's fine. So yeah, from here, all I've done is go into Homemaker brick structures, and I've set up these stairs. Shuffle that a lot. Perfect. So all of these stairs just basically make the top bit here a bit more accessible and create a level platform. I went back and replaced the walls with grass instead of concrete again because I'm indecisive as hell. Now this is a mock-up structure for a few things I plan to do. Yes, it's a sort of wooden shack layout, but this is the communal areas for the artillery soldiers, and we're going to have a bit of leisure up here too. So we've got this nice little balcony which looks over. I might put a guard up here. Best place in the house to be guarding, it must be said. Even though it does feel a little bit wonky, but that doesn't matter. It's a nice place to look out, especially with the Prydwen overhead. This down here is going to be a nice little communal space. I'm actually thinking I could get away with the settlement markers. Not that, I think. If it's not too big, that is. Oh, doesn't appear to be in settlement markers. That's strange. Okay, no, it's here. A boxing ring. Possibly a little bit too large. At least for this building anyway. I'm sure I could probably put it in another one. But that'll be a good bit of entertainment. I'm also thinking of building some structures out in the sea because we have such a large area, and having some target practice. I think that will be really cool. Locked door can be unlocked by the player. I've got a mod for that, sorry. But yeah, this can be a nice communal area for the Minutemen to relax after a hard day on the artillery. Now, if we're going to have a crew of 5 for each of these, that's 25 soldiers we're going to have to cater for here, which isn't a problem. But we're going to have 5 communal spaces here, 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 and here. The upstairs is where we're going to have the living quarters, and I might have to build a couple of floors on top. So where I found this was under G2M. Now I have tested this, and to my knowledge, they are fully nav meshed, so I shouldn't have issues with this. Now what I like about the G2M shack floors is they're actually fully made up. They're not sort of got gaps in them or anything like that. So if I place one here, that needs to come down a couple of notches, like so. Now I need to do that to make this awning work. Oops. So I covered the stairs for a moment there. Yeah, so it is just a shack, but strange. That doesn't seem to even tally up with the size I need. Weird. So I do have some proper windows here, don't I? No, they must be from a different build pack. Yeah, they're from Snap and Build. A bit of a pain, but can they match up? If I just bring them down a tad? I think they can. Yeah, that's fine. I wanted to create a nice open feeling to this communal space, so I put in these doorways, so it's got some support columns in the middle, but it's also got a really nice open feeling to the balcony here. I mean, arguably this is one of the best views you'll have from the castle, so I wanted to make it really nice. You can see all the provisioners coming and going, you can see the fishermen. Hey, it's even a good little guard post if you're on watch duty up here, so that's good. So let's create a bit of a communal space up here. Now Homemaker has some very good furniture. That is a very annoying light glitch, but that'll tidy up as the sun goes round. So I think a couch in front of here be a good start. And in front of this window here. In actual fact, why am I doing this? Because I think Homemaker has these lovely round couches here. Is that the pristine version or is that the torn up one? No, that's the pristine one. So let's put this sofa in. Or a couch if you are one of my friends overseas. Okay, so that doesn't quite line up.
This is Radio Freedom, broadcasting all day, all across the Commonwealth.
just a touch more. Brilliant. That'll do. Now we have the arms of the couch here. Yeah, I believe it's supposed to tilt inwards, which is as it should be. Yep, so you've got a nice little corner couch. Now this should seat, not counting the corner here, 7. So 7 Minutemen can potentially come up here and relax. Let's put a nice little floor covering on it. I don't want to keep reusing the same ones is the problem, but we don't really have a huge deal of variety for floor coverings. But that's good. Now there should be fixtures. I'll say a fireplace wouldn't be out of looks here, but in a wooden shack I certainly wouldn't place my money on it, that's for certain. Could have some nice bathroom facilities upstairs. A jukebox. Yeah, jukebox is a nice little addition to a communal space. It's not like we haven't got the power to facilitate one, so absolutely. Let's put in some nice little lights in here. I'm almost tempted to place one in there. That doesn't really create much light at all, though, is the problem. That is the one bad thing about Homemaker. They're not particularly great at actually lighting spaces. Except for the street lamps, of course. They're really good. Ceiling fans. Yeah, ceiling fan is good. Plus it casts a few shadows up as well, so that gives it a little bit of flavour. Let's put a couple of tables out the front here. Just some small little resting tables, nothing major. This isn't exactly a bar, this is just a relaxation space, as it were. Yeah, that'll do, just a little metal table. Let's turn off the surface snapping here. Chairs. Now I can put the surface snapping back on. Let's put a few arguably nice comfortable chairs out here, because that's the reason you want to sit outside after a long day on the artillery. I mean, you want to relax, don't you? You want to be able to put your feet up. So let's put a couple of these nice egg chairs. Give the Minutemen some ability to stand near them, get in front of them, whatever they want to do. I know they're not really full-blown egg chairs, but that's what I know them as, so that's what I'm going to call them. That's awesome. Now, I don't know if Homemaker... I think it's under miscellaneous here. Nope.
Radio Freedom, broadcasting all day, all across the Commonwealth. Nothing new to report. Keep it tuned here for Minutemen
Nope, not under those. Oh, where did I see it? Because the one problem with categories, you don't always know exactly where they get put. I reckon it's probably under standard furniture. No, is it really not under here either? Nope, it is here. Pool table. God, that's huge though. That is a huge table. Especially with those pillars in there. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be enough space in this particular communal space to facilitate that, unfortunately.
This is Radio Freedom.
So we'll just have to put up with that for now.
Quiet, which is how we like it. Stay safe out there.
Okay, so if we're going upstairs, I don't think there's any spaces here for a bedroom of some kind. That's going to annoy me. There we go, just bring that up just a tad. So let's put the hallway for this place in. So G2M's construction. Nah, I don't want these kind of walls. They don't look very nice. I reckon it's probably under snap and build. No, it's not. It's not under snappy build, it's under snap and build, which is in structures, obviously.
Keep it tuned here for updates.
Yeah, so this is where I've got the two sort of confused a little bit. Yeah, so I reckon these nice windows here gives a nice view of the front as well. Just thinking I could probably make some kind of structure out here and build a sort of outpost out front here. That might be a really nice idea for when this is finished. Now this is the thing with these decks. I kind of want to make it continuous. I want to make this go all the way around without these gaps in the middle. So the gaps will be on the ground floor. The issue that I have with that though is that these might all be very slightly different heights, and that won't bode well for keeping this thing as it should, but we can give it a bloody good go. Maybe I can make with the communal space with the pool table up here. I mean, that's not a bad idea. The balcony is here, so let's put a doorway here. We want a nice inviting doorway.
Radio Freedom. All's quiet across the Commonwealth. Stay safe out there.
Like so. Now real estate has some very nice balconies. It was the bronze one that I used. No, it wasn't. It was prefabs. What am I talking about? Lovely. Now you've got an even better view from up here. How cool is that? I tell you what, if I was assigned to this settlement as a guard or as a trader or just a settler or whatever, I would be so happy. I really would. It's not often I'm proud of my builds, but this is one that I really am. So G2M. No, it's not G2M. What am I doing? It's snap and build. There we go. I want to sort of create a distinct difference. I want the ground floor to be quite clearly reconstituted stone. I want it to be the contemporary buildings. And I want this place up here to be clearly an add-on to what's down below. So I want to make that difference very distinct. So let's get that pool table in here because we really want a pool table. Oh, that's much better. Plenty of space for a pool table up here. In fact, let's bring that over a fair bit.
You're tuned to Radio Freedom, broadcasting across the Commonwealth. All quiet here. Stay tuned for Minutemen alerts.
Yes, because the standard furniture has an awful lot, including the pre-war stuff. Yep, so this side is clearly recreation. This entire wing, which I think is, yeah, the south wing. So we're going to call this the south wing. This is where our Minutemen can come and relax. Now we'll obviously create some bed chambers along here for our Minutemen to get some well-deserved rest. Now do it yourself. Let's put a bookcase in here just for some nice decoration. Give our Minutemen some food for thought. Okay, now if we're going to continue with this, let's see if we can, well, take this as far as it needs to go. So okay, so how are we going to match this up? Because I used these stairs here. Yeah, I used these stairs. Do these snap to anything here? Yes, they do. How am I going to do this? Let's remove this. Is that similar to what this looks like? Yeah, so we've got a sort of lip and then a step. So this should be a lip and a step. Yeah, lip and a step. So let's put a shack floor here, and I lowered mine ever so slightly to be in line with the top step. And a shack wall. Perfect. Now if I were to expand this across to here, the wood grain is going the wrong way there. That's correct. And if I expand this backwards, what height are we looking at here? That is literally spot on. I could not have asked for a better fit there.
This is Radio Freedom, broadcasting all day, all across the Commonwealth. Nothing to report. Stay safe out there, everyone.
Okay, maybe I could have asked for a slightly better one here, but I can actually work with this. So if I can get this to snap to the right place, that wood grain is going the wrong way anyway. I think it had to go a fair bit back. 5, 1, half, 1. Like that to remove the floor glitch. Excellent. So I scale this back up just a tad to make it into a fine point at the end. You know what? I reckon that is perfect. It needs to come back just a tad. I think that is almost perfect. I don't think that is going to get any better.
It's 3 p.m.
Beautiful. Now, the stairs aren't actually going to go here. That was just so I could line them up, so that will be taken away. So that goes all the way over the top here. Hello, Nick. How are you doing? Yeah, so this can stretch over the top of here. Not a problem whatsoever. Yeah, I mean that's got a bit carved out the bottom, but that's really not going to matter. So this is what I mean, the whole floor up here is nav meshed. Whoops, I didn't rotate them properly. So the whole thing is nav meshed. All of my Minutemen can come up here with no issues whatsoever. Oh god, that actually looks better than I expected. And the howitzers will still be able to fire, which is brilliant. Okay. Just be careful here. Yeah, that's not going to expand any further because that will encroach on the artillery a bit too much. Let's do the same with this floor here. So I take this out and put in a pair of fancy stairs. Yep, lip, then step. And then place the floor in. Bring it down in line with the stairs. That went down by 1. Like so. Perfect. This is already looking amazing to me. I mean, you guys can feel free to disagree with me, but so that is 3 tiles out.
This is Radio Freedom, broadcasting all day, all across the Commonwealth.
3 tiles in.
Nothing to report. Stay safe
Obviously,
out there,
stairs will move, but that's not my concern at the present moment. Now, what kind of height are we looking at here? Absolutely spot on. That could not have been better. This has to be easily the best matching build I've ever put together. Normally I have to finagle and piss about and all that jazz to get any of this working. But this time around it seems to work perfectly. Okay, no, I want that to shear off here. Okay, so I need to put that in there and wind it back in.
All's quiet across the Commonwealth. Stay safe out there.
then put this piece in, then I can extend this out. Yep, that will encroach ever so slightly, but that's something I can live with. Just, yeah, tap that back into place. Yes, as you can see, what I'm trying to do here is retain the hexagonal nature of the castle, because the hexagonal nature is really unique, and I want to keep that as much as I can. So if I can build the leisure facilities upstairs like this, then it's all for the better. Because I'm thinking what I can do is build the bedrooms here towards the sea. This is probably where I'll put the firing range, perhaps the boxing arena downstairs, firing range over here. This can all be sleeping quarters. I could probably put in 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not sure if I could sleep 3 to a room quite comfortably, or whether I should just stick with 2. So I'm thinking 6, 12, 18. So I could sleep 18 up at top if I leave the leisure spaces in. I'm keen not to have to put a 3rd floor in, but I think that's going to be inevitable soon. That is going to need covering up, because you can now see the clipping where the texture is one way. Doesn't look too bad from here though, so that can wait for a short while longer. I'll cross the bedroom issue when it comes to it. I might have to build a couple of extension units out here, or I may just have to go onto a 3rd floor. Either way, we'll come to that. So let's put the rest of the framework in.
It's 5 p.m. Nothing to report. Stay safe.
That's the thing, I'm actually running out of wood. I never thought I'd say that, but I'm actually running out of wood. I say that as I have 6,000 of the sorts, but you know what I mean. You're very close to the howitzers. But again, I can live with that. There's a lot of things I can live with, and that is certainly one of them. Place another one. Again, stairs are not going to be in this position. This is just for reference. Okay, I want the grain to be that way. That is incredible. That is actually incredible. I was so sure that this wasn't going to match up as well as this. I thought a few of them were going to be a couple of units out and I'd have to mess with the floors. But hey, I am pleasantly surprised. I'm not going to complain. Yeah, that's going to have a very slight encroachment, but it's going to be so small, no one's really going to take note of that, so I'll live with that as is. Okay, I can see here there is a very slight difference in heights. Just going to do a bit of fancy finagling here.
Radio freedom. Voice of the Minutemen.
Because if I bring it up, it's going to move in exact units. So let me budge this up a fair bit. Oh, come on, just... I hate it when it does this, I really do. There we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There we go. That's now invisible. Looks good. Sometimes snapping can actually be your worst enemy when doing things like this, as was very apparent just there. Not sure why I kept saying earlier this was hexagonal. It's fucking pentagonal. Out of all the things I learned in school, that should have been one of the few things I did bloody retain.
It's getting dark out there, people. Stay safe. Nothing to report. Stay safe out there, everyone.
Excellent. Once more, stairs for reference. I think me not having that GEC kit as well has really increased my frame rate when working in settlements. I think that was a massive drain on the game. I'm actually quite glad to be rid of that. Besides, I think fully colonising the entirety of the Commonwealth was pushing it a little bit in terms of the scope of the project. I mean, if we finish this entire series and, I don't know, I'm bored and feel like I could do some more, then yeah, maybe. But for now, let's leave the scope of the project as is. Okay, that is actually a fair bit of disparity. Of course it's a fair bit of fucking disparity. I didn't bring that down, did I? God, I'm such a dipshit sometimes. I swear, I haven't had a beer today. At least not yet. It's actually my birthday in a couple of days, so I've broken my diet to get some beer today for later on. I thought, oh, bloody hell, it's my birthday. Like, I can afford to have a treat, can't I? Oh god, that brings back memories. Perfect, that's all been brought down. Excellent. Now let's drag you back. Oh, that was close.
Stay safe out there.
Again, very, very slight encroaching. No, that's not going to match up if I put the walls in there, so I think that's going to need... I wish the thing up top left would scroll just that little bit quicker. I never know what setting I'm on at a glance. There we go. 2. And this is why I really dislike snapping. I really do. down, down. Oh, no, that's going to glitch.
All quiet here. Stay tuned for Minutemen alerts.
That will not encroach anymore. Well, it's going to have this tiny overhang, which I'm sure, as I keep saying, I can live with that. Fantastic. I'm so surprised this has worked out as well as it has. I'm actually quite shocked. I've never had something quite that well, because I've had some bumpy areas of the terrain, so I keep thinking it's going to be a bit higher than expected or lower than expected, but this is really working out. Yeah, that is above.
It's 8 o'clock. You're listening to Radio Freedom, the voice of the Minutemen. Nothing to report. Stay safe out there, everyone.
Again, I'm going to have to do the 50, 100. Going to have to do the raise up trick, fit that in there trick, and then lower it back down into place trick. Brilliant. Now we pull this back towards us.
Voice of the Minutemen. All quiet, which is how we like it. Stay safe out there.
Yep, perfect. That matches sensationally well. Great, so we have the perfectly pentagonal nature of the castle mirrored. That needs another piece. That was surprisingly easy to place. Brilliant. We'll just go around and make sure everything is where it should be, minus the stairs, of course. How far does that stretch? I think I'm going to have some trouble matching the walls up there, but we'll sort that. I mean, the ceilings here look kind of ugly, but we can iron all that out in due course. I mean, that looks exceptionally ugly. But this is the pentagonal structure. The structure we wanted to keep. Having these little divots sticking through the floor is not particularly good, though. In the corners I don't mind so much. In the middle of the floor though, not so much. This needs some more decoration, but that's enough for that. Yeah, so we've got the grassy area under here. This is clearly an outside area. I'll put some supports on here. It's turning into a right little fire base, isn't it? Right, this is going to need a little bit of fleshing out. So what I'm going to do is build the walls off camera and make this the way it should be, or the way I'm envisaging it. I'm not going to bore you guys with all of that, so bear with me just a moment and I'm going to put in some of the key components, because that's going to take me a fair while to get fleshed out. So bear with me just a moment and I'll be back shortly. Fantastic, so I think we're getting there already. I've decided to ditch the old shack finish here, big shack, and replace that with brick. Looks kind of fugly at the moment, but it won't do when I'm finished with it. Excuse me. We have our boxing ring in here with an open plan, putting these nice pillars for a doorway. And this is going to be a bit of a gym. Now upstairs in this wing, now I don't have matching wallpaper for the doorways, which is a bit unfortunate, but it is the way it is. Gives it more of a apocalyptic feel anyway, so I can live with it. But I've separated them into little dormitory rooms. This one has a really nice view over of Spectacle Island and out into the bay, which looks really cool. I did shoot a couple of bullets into the walls here, but oh well. This room here, another little barracks room. I had to kind of turn this one so the wood was the other way round because it was it looks extremely ugly if you come up the stairs with that there. And there's this one here, which is a bit of a different shape, but I think it adds some more character to the building. I think I'm going to put another room here, which is only going to be 1 square wide, but it can fit 1 extra person. And that will give a perfect segue into the communal space over here. I have replaced the shack floors with these proper ones here, because they look nicer. My idea behind changing this out as well is because if it's literally all wood like this and it comes under attack, just thinking of a physics standpoint, you know, 1 rock here, Molotov cocktail, you set the castle on fire. It's not exactly an ideal situation, so I figured changing it out for brick was quite a bit more practical. Non-flammable materials. And as you can see, the nav mesh works like an absolute dream. Brilliant. So let's put in some furniture. Now these rooms up here, this particular room, would easily be able to sleep 4. Easily. And have enough space for all of that. So let's do this. We're going to have a lot more beds than we need, but that's good because it means we're just future-proofing. If all the rooms sleep this many in them, or something similar, we might not need to make 3 floors after all. But yeah, this can sleep like a squad of artillery soldiers. I get the feeling that wall is a bit wonky. Could be wrong though. Cool. Okay, so this room over here, I reckon this could sleep 3 quite comfortably. All of these walls have been placed manually, so they do feel a little bit weird to put beds into, but I can, again, live with it. I really need to stop saying that phrase, but I'm so used to it by now. Not funny. Didn't laugh. Boom. 3 in there. This, I think, is going to be comfortable enough to sleep 2. So there we go, we now have 9 occupants, and that's just in 1 wing. And that's in a communal wing as well. If we do have to build a 3rd story, I'm hoping to give it a little bit of flavour, in that it doesn't need to just be a solid floor. The hell? I just saw Ronnie Shaw do a backflip just there. Or Nick, I can't see who that is from here. So yeah, that's slept 9. That's just across 1 wing, so the pentagonal pattern, that's 45 we could potentially sleep. Maybe a few more, maybe a few less. You don't even have a job yet. I could have swore I gave you a job. Oh, you can be one of our first boxers.
All day, all across the Commonwealth. All quiet.
So we've set these up. That's a good little sleeping place. Let's get some lights in here to get this on the move. Now these are the best lights to use by an absolute mile. Problem is they don't snap to the ceiling until you edit them. I'm not entirely sure why. Actually, if we got a boxing ring, the best thing for that will be spotlights.
You're tuned to Radio
So I think some track lights on all four sides
Report. Stay safe out there, everyone.
will give us an appropriate amount of light. And as you can see, the ring is open on one side because naturally we need to get fighters onto the ring somehow. And I don't think they're actually in the ceiling. Yeah, it was a bit of a faux pas there. So I have to bring them up by 9 to get them actually mounted to the ceiling. Brilliant. And we'll move this to a slightly more suitable place.
Broadcasting all day, all across the Commonwealth. All quiet, which is how we like it. Stay safe out there.
That was almost spot on. That's quite cool. So yeah, we've got our sort of gym equipment here, which is good. Now I'm going to put some mats underneath because if you've got a gym, you'd of course have some mats. Let's shuffle that away. Perfect. And a second set of mats. That should do it. Now, furniture. I think under miscellaneous we'll find the pommel horse. I don't know how much space a pommel horse needs. I'm thinking we should just make weight benches over here. Yeah, we'll leave it as just weight benches for now. I think if we put down pommel horses, well, it's going to cause all kinds of pathfinding issues. Oh, I thought I'd lost my Gruff EDD pack for a second there. I would have been not too happy. And the obligatory new Commonwealth. Because why wouldn't we? Now, I know it sounds like we're going a bit overkill on this, but I want this to be an attraction for people who have finished work. So we're going to put in another bar. You come to watch a fight, you want to place some bets, well, this is where you come and get it. Technically I could put 2 in here, but I'm not quite going to go that far. Now under do it to your shelf.
This is Radio Freedom, broadcasting all day, all across
And that's
the Commonwealth.
post-war.
Nothing to report. Keep it tuned here for updates.
And now I think we need some ringside seats here. Yeah, some good ringside seats. Normally you have just these folding chairs for ringsides. So let's add in some chairs. so I'm going to make them a little bit off-center or offset because there is a... I mean, it is a place where you're going to have a few beers and all that. They're not going to be perfectly straightened up, are they? So yeah, let's make some ringside seats over here. Just offset them a tad. Brilliant. Now, under settlement markers,
This is Radio Freedom. Voice of
we do
the
have some
Minutemen.
animation markers for cheering.
Nothing to report. Stay safe, people.
Guards, no. Winner, well, a leisure area. Let's mark the place as a leisure area. Definitely think a few clapping markers would be good. Some spectator positions. Excellent. And some furniture out on this nice little wooden balcony I've built here will look definitely in place. It's more sheltered than the one out there as well. That seems a little bit too posh. These black leather couches here will look pretty nice. I think a couple of stools, actually.
It's getting dark out there, people. Stay safe. All quiet across the Commonwealth. Stay safe out there.
A fairly tall table, I think, to go with this. You watch, I've got these the wrong way round, I bet you. First person to come and sit by them will look like an absolute idiot facing the wrong way. I think to light this, take off the surface snapping. Yeah, these nice little hanging lights give it a little bit more character. So we'll put these in the windows here. That's nice. Yeah, that's not too low. Just going to center that, otherwise it's going to drive me a little bit crazy. Better. Now there's no one manning this at the moment. I'm almost tempted to make a Minuteman do it, because this is like the Minuteman's gym and hangout, so... I mean, here you go, Captain Lucas Horribin, he's getting his workout in. Make himself that a little bit happier. That's it. So, OC Decorator. Kitchen and dining. Now, I could have swore I had some Gwinnets with me. Oh, I must have put them in Sanctuary. That sucks. Genuinely sucks. I must have put everything away. Oh, got a Nuka Cherry. So let's put a Nuka Cherry down. But never mind, let's put some more furniture in here. Okay, so the person who runs the bar will be here. Let's move them over a little bit, so put it around the other way. Excellent. Yeah, so that's going to be hung up there. Commonwealth, Minutemen. Perfect. Oh, that looks so much nicer. Still don't think it's particularly light enough though, so let's see if we can put a couple of these nice wall lights up. Yeah, because they have this nice bluey effect. I still don't think they even produce any kind of light whatsoever. What about these subway lights? What do they look like?
It's 8 o'clock.
That's better.
Radio freedom, the voice of the Minutemen. Nothing to report. Stay safe out
Excellent.
there.
Now under do it yourself, we're going to put the decorations in. This is going to be purely for beer. I mean, no one's going to come up here and get coffee, are they? If they do, are you really a Minuteman? I about to say, they seem to clip. And yes, I am just going to fill this with alcohol. I'm not even kidding. I reckon food would be a good shout, actually. I mean, there's a good chance you'll want food while you're drinking, so that fully makes sense. But we'll leave a few shelves a little bit blank, a little bit empty. We'll have some top shelf liquor here, but mostly you're going to be buying beer. Shopping baskets full of alcohol, crates of beer. Some more alcohol on the top shelf. And even more beer on the top. Now that is what you call a bar ready for a fight. Might have to start a military police. Why are you clapping? There's no one fighting, you prick. Yes, I think 2 people on night shift over here would be a really nice addition. I do also think we need some more floor decorations in here, so what floor coverings have we got? I'll tell you what, let's put these down almost like a makeshift beer mats.
It's 9 p.m.
Yeah, I reckon that's good.
Report. Stay safe, people.
Now, Homemaker has some even better
You're tuned to Radio Freedom.
decorations, floor coverings. Thank you.
Stay safe out there, everyone.
Let's have a look. So yeah, we've used this bright red one upstairs already. Now out on the terrace, not really. Let's put a couple of these nice blue ones down. So what we're going to need is a couple of Minutemen to come in, and I can set them up with a fight each evening. This place is already proving to be a bit of a hit. That's really cool. I think it will divert some of the people who are stuck downstairs as well, so that'll be nice to see. Glad you're enjoying it. You haven't got a name yet, which is brilliant. And we've got enough food to get an extra 19 more Minutemen up here before we need to get some settlers to help prop the supplies up.
Nothing to report. Keep it tuned here for
My God, it's already getting a few people come in wanting to see a fight. Fantastic. This is excellent. Still feels too dark though. Way too dark. Damn, this is way too dark. Thing is, these light the place up even better, but they look so plain. That's the issue with the light bulbs. Screw it. Let's place a few more of these.
This is Radio Freedom. All quiet, which is how we like it. Stay safe out there.
Yeah, that's better. Not quite as light as I ideally want it. And the gym definitely needs some more light. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Oh. Captain.
General.
This is incredible. I never thought I'd get this far with a settlement, but I have, and every day I come on, I'm looking forward to getting more ideas down. I'm looking forward to building more. This is so exciting for me. Oh, someone else has got their laser on, probably from upstairs.
You know what I call a good day? One that ends without an empty stomach.
Yep, Randy.
Yes.
Not sure what you're doing up here. You're supposed to be on duty. But yeah, with this side set up, that's where I'm going to end this episode. I will add some more decorations and some little bit more refinements to this. Pop off to Sanctuary and get me some bottles of beer and all that to stack around here, but hey, we're getting there. This is really, really exciting. It really is. And I'm glad you guys are joining me here. But until the next time, where we're going to carry on with this project,
Radio Freedom,
I'll
voice
see
of
you
the
then.
Minutemen.
Later,
Just past 10.
peace out.
All
Hey,
quiet
General.
across